I lived in a sheltered community that is owned by a company named The Community. It was a great place, although a little eerie at times. However, the sky is almost always gloomy. I'm not sure why this is happening, I really don't, but I've just learned to deal with it. Sometimes beams of sunshine break through. I am an only child, and my parents were forced to move into the sheltered community due to budget cuts and the fact that it was very cheap. One day, my parents decided to leave me at home while they went to work. I wasn't too upset about it. What teenager wouldn't? I got to sit at home, hang around, and watch TV. Now that my parents had left, I was left to my own devices. I've always considered the house to be creepy. It has an aura about it, something I couldn't explain. Every creak I heard in the house gave me goosebumps. Today was no different, however. I simply shrugged it off and watched TV. A few hours later, I was watching TV when I saw an emergency alert. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the community, said the alert. We are tracking the path of a devastating blizzard. Stay indoors and do not look outside. Do not open the door for anyone, even if they sound like your loved ones. Hide in a room without a window. Stay safe and keep a radio with you to be alerted when it is safe to leave. I groaned and stood up, grabbed my phone. However, I then wondered why I couldn't look out the window. Perhaps debris? I assumed it was debris. I went into the closet and sat down. Now, our closet was large enough to fit a few decently sized people. I began playing the waiting game. I looked up and saw an old record player and an envelope. I got up and grabbed the record player and envelope. I placed the record player on the floor. There was already a record in there. I pressed the on button and began playing the record. The music appeared to be that of a creepy nursery rhyme. The lyrics went as follows. Beware the blizzard man. He's got a terrible plan. Children vanish one by one. He melts them limb by limb. He mimics voices you know well, luring kids into his icy hell. In the snow where secrets lay, he takes their joy, their laughter away. So when the blizzard comes to town, stay inside, don't make a sound. Close your eyes and count to 10. Pray he doesn't come again. Honestly, this nursery rhyme creeped me the hell out. Then I pulled open the envelope. I saw pictures of children having fun in the snow in the envelope. But there was a tall humanoid thing in the background of these photos, watching. Its entire body was black, and it appeared to be wearing a white mask. I was unable to figure out if it had a cloak on, or if that was its actual body. Was this the Blizzard Man? I began to think rationally. Maybe it was the set of some horror movie, and this nursery rhyme was made for it. However, I heard a knock on the front door. I stood up and left the closet, headed for the front door. I walked towards the front door and heard my mom's voice. "Sweetie, I left my keys inside the house. Can I come in?" asked my mom. I walked forward, preparing to let her in, but then I realized something. My mom took the keys when she left. I could feel my stomach drop. "Sweetie, can you let me in?" my mom asked, her voice sounding like a recording being played back. "Mom, you took the keys with you, remember?" I asked. Whatever was outside began banging on the door. "Let me in, brat!" yelled whatever was outside, still using my mom's voice. I stepped back, hyperventilating. I dashed to the kitchen and grabbed a knife, intending to protect myself. Whatever was outside was banging so violently on the door that I feared it may come off its hinges at any moment. It stopped, and I thought it had left me alone. However, that is when I heard a knock on the window behind me. "Let me in," said the thing. I swallowed, drew up the curtains, and screamed. The thing stood on the other side of the window, its face pressed up against the glass. It appeared to be wearing a melted mask, with hollow eyes glaring at me. It was still using my mom's voice. "Let me in," it said. I grabbed my phone and began dialing 911. However, I had no signal. The thing seemed to chuckle, although I couldn't hear it. It then began banging on the glass. The glass started to crack. I stepped back, dropped my knife, and ran. I could hear the glass shatter behind me and whatever the thing was, stepping into the kitchen. I ran for my room and hid beneath the bed. I could hear the thing opening and closing closets. It then entered my room. It started taunting me. It came to stop near my bed, crouched down, and we locked eyes. I screamed, shimmying backward until my back was against the wall. The thing started to reach for me. I looked around before noticing a bat under my bed. I grabbed the bat and swung it at the thing's face. It recoiled, and I took the opportunity to run. The blizzard had passed, so I left the house. I ran to a neighbor's house and banged on the door. They opened up and welcomed me in. I was safe. I could breathe a sigh of relief. That incident was a few months ago. My parents never came back. I left the sheltered community to go live with my grandparents. Before I left, I took some VHS tapes and SD cards from the house and brought them with me. I could use them to figure out what happened to the person who lived before me. This was one of the scariest experiences I've had. I don't know what happened to my parents or what that thing really wants. However, I know what it's capable of.